Thanks so much. It's really great to be here tonight. I just want to say what a great job by the young ladies at Rising Tide. I mean, in my job, in my occupation, we see many terrible things. And it's great to see young leaders like that, future leaders of tomorrow, who are really going to step forward, because that gives me optimism that we are going in the right direction, that we are making positive steps, and that there are people out there who are trying to do the right thing. So I thank you, and I applaud you both for what you said earlier. As Joseph, I'm going to forget, so I'm going to say it right now. At the front, there's a file out there. Grab that if you would. There's all sorts of stuff in there from the DA's office, things that we do. As Joseph, we do many different things in the district attorney's office. I've now been the district attorney here in Plymouth County for the last 22 years. And it's been a very challenging job. It's been a very interesting job. And it's a very important job for our community, for the people that are there that are looking for somebody to make sure that they can do their job, to be the chief law enforcement official in this county, to deal with the roughly 18 to 20,000 criminal cases we have every year, to deal with the pending cases that are going on. It's a challenge. Plymouth County is roughly 800 square miles. There's roughly 530,000 people in there. Our prosecutors have in the ballpark of 400 cases each. So that tells you how busy it is, notwithstanding all the COVID issues that are going on. And that's why it's important, I think, for people to understand that we do so much more than just prosecute. And that's getting in the front end of things, the preventative aspects, helping kids who may be drug and dangerous, kids who have adverse childhood experiences, kids who need help, at-risk kids. A lot of the stuff you guys do, working for the community, benefiting the community, making sure that people understand that there are people out there that need a hand up and that we can help them. And especially the kids who are in those cycles, the cycles of domestic violence, the cycles of child abuse. I'm really proud to say that over the last couple of years, we've seen our numbers go down. Here in our county, 20%, the urban crime in Brockton's gone down, shootings are down 35%, people being shot are down 25%, and Plymouth County's in the 99th percentile of safest counties in America. And that's only because of a lot of really good people that are working hard every day, police, fire, EMS, working in conjunction with the things that are going on every day. Most times if you see me, something bad's happened. That's why I like coming to the Rotary. That's why I like coming to these different events, talking about the things that we do on the front end. That's what makes the difference. We go to see, during COVID, we were doing all sorts of Council on Aging hearings on Zoom, talking to them about the scams that were going on, trying to let them understand that there are people out there who want your money, what you've worked for your whole life. And as a senior, myself, I understand that they try to take advantage, these scammers try to take advantage of people who have worked hard their whole life, that have acquired monies, and what they're trying to do is get that away from them. And they try to do it in a variety of different ways, and you're probably familiar with a lot of them. You're familiar with a lot of the issues that are going on now, whether they be romance scams, or grandparent scams, or contractor scams, IRS scams, jury scams. There's a whole bunch of them. And that's why it's really important, because when they go after seniors, seniors grew up at a different time. They're more trusting than a lot of the youngsters that are out there nowadays. And I think the biggest thing that we see when somebody gets ripped off by somebody is the embarrassment that they have. They're afraid of coming forward. They don't want to be shamed because this person has talked them out. They can't believe that they were talked out of it. And I often tell them, this is the most important thing to do, is to report it and to tell other people and get the word out, because if you don't, it's going to happen to somebody else. So when we deal with these, when we talk to them about these different situations, it was just a grandparent scam in Pembroke last week. I don't know if you saw that in the paper. And we had one in Hanover a few months ago, actually more than a few months ago, it was probably the beginning of COVID. And these scammers who are out there, these professional thieves, that's what they are. They are professional thieves. And they're good at what they do, and they wouldn't do it if they weren't successful in getting money from people. So we had a case here in Plymouth County in which a woman got a call in the middle of the night. That's the grandparent scam. You get a call. Nana, can you help me? Now, we're all saying, in the middle of the night you get a phone call, you're gonna know your grandkid's voice, but nobody ever calls you at 1 in the morning for something good. So you're startled, you're rattled, and before you know it, you talk. Usually what happens is the person will say, "Oh, Tim, is that you?" Now they've got the name. And as they talk further, this case that we had over in our county, what happened was that they said, "Nana, I'm in trouble," and he said the name Johnny. He goes, "Listen, I'm with my friend's father. He's a lawyer. Here's the phone." Now you're no longer talking to the kid who's your grandkid, all right? And then this guy explained to this woman that, that Johnny had been operating a motor vehicle up in New Hampshire and got into a car accident. And when he got into the car accident, somebody got significantly injured. As a result of that, he was going to be charged criminally. And at the time, because they're really good at bringing in current facts and current information, at that time in New Hampshire, court was only open 1 day a week because of COVID. So he said to the grandmother, if you don't come up with $8,000 cash, Johnny's going to be held for a week in jail. And also the other conversation is, please don't tell my parents because they'll kill me. So now they're brought into that loop of secrecy. Okay. The next thing you know, in this instance, this woman talked to this person, played phone tag with him for an extended period of time. And eventually she went to her bank that day. Now this is a woman that would go to her bank on Fridays and take out $25 a week. On this day, she walked in and asked for $8,000 cash. And the bank tellers did the right thing, and I think they're trying to do that at a lot of our banks and a lot of our stores. They're training their customers, they're training their tellers, they're training the people that work there. If somebody unusual like that comes in, or somebody's buying a bunch of $500 gift cards, what's going on with that? So this woman did the right thing. She asked, are you okay? Is there something going on? And because she'd been sworn to secrecy to her grandson through the other kid's lawyer, the lawyer, quote unquote, she said, no, I just need my money. She gets $8,000 cash, she brings it home, she calls these people up. They said, okay, they were allegedly going to meet her somewhere, but now they're saying, we're coming to your house. Sure enough, the big black SUV pulls into her driveway. These big guys get out, they're wearing masks, it's COVID, right? So she walks down the end of her driveway, gives them $8,000 cash, and they drive off and they're gone. Now this just happened in Pembroke again last week. It was just in the Globe the other day. And that it's ongoing. And the thing that I try to tell seniors is, if you do this, and if you give your money to somebody else, the chances are really slim we're going to get the money back. Now the good news is for that case I was talking about, the New Hampshire case, the police did a great job. The troopers got involved in it. They looked at all the ring cameras down that street. They got the plate. They found out who the plate went to. It was up in Boston. They went up. They arrested these guys. They charged them last year over $250, and they were able to get the money back. But that is a rare day. That's an aberration. So it's really, really important for people to understand that we need to think and we need to talk to each other, and that you shouldn't be embarrassed by it. We should be talking about these individuals who are out there and calling the police. If you don't call the police, we can't get the word out. And that's a real big thing. The other thing that we see with a lot of our seniors, especially the romance scams things going on right now, and unfortunately, there's a whole lot of dating apps out there. People will go on plentyoffishtothesea.com, things like that. We have a lot of seniors who, let's face it, as we get older, we lose people in our lives, we get lonely, want to talk to somebody, and they go on these apps, and they talk there, and they get information. And the amazing thing is, if you go on one of these apps, and you're talking to a person, you're probably talking, if you're a family, you're talking to Arnold Schwarzenegger, and if you're a guy, you're talking to a beautiful model. In actuality, you're talking to some scammer somewhere else. Because all these people are going to tell you the same story. They're going to tell you they're a doctor that's located, saving the world in some third world country. They're going to tell you that they're working out on a derrick out in the middle of the ocean. They're going to tell you this, that, the other thing. Things that are constant. You're never going to meet them. You're never going to see them. And they're going to try to develop this con through the internet. Now, romance scams have been around forever. But now with the internet, it's quicker. And these people are out there throwing their lines in the water, trying to get somebody to bite. And it starts out slow. They develop that thing. They'll start telling that they love you. They'll start telling you that they want to have a life with you, that they want to be with you. And then all of a sudden, you start sending the money. We've had horror stories of people who have sent large sums of money out of the country. And then they call us up 3 or 4 months later, the DA's office, up to help us get it back. And I said, I'd love to help you get it back, but it's outside the country. It's gone. We're not getting it back. I'm talking hundreds of thousands of dollars. I'm talking people's life savings. I'm talking people going to the bank and mortgaging their homes to the people that they love. On a smaller scale, there was one woman that was talking to this one guy back and forth, and the guy says to her, he's going on a business trip over to England. And he's in the plane, as he's going over the plane, he calls her up and says, you know what, my Netflix subscription just expired. Can you do me a favor? Can you go to Walmart and get a $100 Netflix subscription and call me back and give me the number, and I can use that when I fly, or I'll pay when I get back. She goes, no. It's $100. Okay. She does it. She sends him the number. A couple of days later, after he lands in England, and at that point, he's now calling her up and he's in a panic. Oh my gosh, I brought my tools over there, and they were in the cab with me, and the cabbie stole them. They're gone. And, it's $4,600 worth of equipment. He goes, but I found a good deal. I can get it for $2,400. Can you forward me the $2,400? And she took a step back. She goes, I'll call you right back. And what she ended up doing was she went, had a cup of coffee, and thought about it for a second. Here's this international traveler who needed $100 for a Netflix card. And now he's not calling his company, he's calling me to replace his equipment. So she calls him back and she says, you know what, you're scamming me, I'm not giving you anything. And then she did the thing that most people don't do because they're embarrassed by it. She went online and she told people about it. And when she did that, she found all these other ladies who were in the same boat. That guy did that to me, that guy did that to me. And they nickel and dime you until they can lure you into giving more money. So it's really important that we get the word out on that stuff. I could go on forever with the stories. And we all get the IRS calls, right? I mean, remember a couple years ago, the IRS called up. They're calling you up and, we're going to come and arrest you. I often tell, when I go talk to the seniors, I tell them the same thing. I say, I'm going to tell you a secret, a law enforcement secret you can promise not to tell anybody. Do you all promise here at the Rotary? I know you don't do it. The secret is that when law enforcement is going to come and arrest you, they're not going to call you. They are just going to come, all right? They are just going to come. And jury scams, you get the call saying, pick up the phone, or you pick up your cell phone. Is this Tim Cruz? Yeah. Do you live at 123 South Main Street? Yeah. There's a warrant for your arrest. You're like, what? What are you talking about? They say, well, you didn't show up for jury duty. Now, we've all seen those little postcards. If you're like me, I'm thinking I got lost in getting the mail, I'd probably throw it out. I never even saw it. So all of a sudden you're backpedaling, right? Like, whoa, what are you talking about? And they say, okay, so you live here, right? Yes. And they'll ask you a couple more questions. They go, what's your social security number? And you go, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. They go, oh yeah, you're right, it's not you. Sorry, click back. Now they get your social security number. They try to push you off the plate. They try to get you, rather you can get information from you. That's what it's all about. So as you go out and about in your daily activities, just remember that there are people out. Not everybody's as nice as the people that are here. Not everybody's as nice as the people in most of our lives. But there are people out there who are trying to scam you and take advantage of you. And then we all need to make sure that we are out there doing that. So being prepared for that. So like I said, please go through this. The last thing I'll end up on is file life in these. File life, if you're not aware of it, file life is something that you can have. It's a magnet in the back. You can put it on your refrigerator. If you are in a situation where you are non-responsive at your home and first responders show up, you can have this on your refrigerator or have your emergency contacts. It will also, you put all your information down there. You put your information regarding your medicine, so therefore you're not giving something that might hurt you versus might interact with what you're taking. There's also a smaller one for your car. So you can have a file life sticker in the back of your car. You can put this in your glove box here in your pocketbook, so that the first responders know to look for that. And you can make sure that once again, if you're not responsive in a situation, that you can put yourself in a position where you're going to be safe. As we go out and do our jobs, many times we are pursuing, obviously individuals who are selling some of these terrible drugs right now. Fentanyl, xylazine, which is out there right now, which is a non-opiate, which is a terrible drug. It's a veterinary tranquilizer. It's basically killing people if you take it. And it's mixed in with fentanyl and things such as that. So I have never apologized for going after people who are killing people with drugs very hard, and I never will. So what these drug dealers do, and I'm not talking about drug users, I'm talking about the dealers who work for the money. They want their money. What I like to do, and what we can do by law, is we can file suit on monies that we can prove came from drug proceeds. We can go after their vehicles, we can go after their bank accounts, we can go after all that stuff. And when we get that money, we have to file a civil suit and go through civil court. We eventually will get it. Then we take that money and we put it back into the community. Whether we're doing our drug education camps, whether we're taking seniors out for lunch, whatever it may be. So we do senior luncheons every year. So I always tell the senior luncheons, I say, listen, remember the file life, but all the things that we purchase with this stuff, it's all paid for by drug forfeited proceeds. So if you know a drug dealer, not that you do, please say thank you to the lunch. And none of them know any drug dealers, but they're also very good at that. So like I said, I can go on forever, but I won't, because I know between lunch and you. I want to thank you for listening to me today. I appreciate it. If you have any questions, thoughts, or concerns, never hesitate to call the DA's office. Never hesitate to call the AG's office. Never hesitate to call the Better Business. Together we can get to where you need to be. This world is very challenging right now. We all need help. Make sure when you need help, don't hesitate to call us. Thank you.